Welcome to the Entrepreneur Solution, where highly successful entrepreneur Mel Abraham becomes your entrepreneurial mentor. Here, Mel reveals his business building strategies and even gets a chance to answer your questions. Mel Abraham, a CPA by education, but an entrepreneur by exhilaration, and a true believer in the entrepreneurial way of life. It's through entrepreneurship that we create community, support society, and live our dreams. It's where possibility meets reality again, and you can have the life and lifestyle you want, one of freedom and peace of mind. Welcome to this episode of the Entrepreneur Solution, where it's time for you to be bold, dream big, and live life your way.
Hey there, I'm Mel Abraham, the founder of Business Breakthrough Academy and the author of The Entrepreneur Solution, where we teach you how to design a business and create a life of freedom and peace of mind. And in this episode, in this very first episode, what I really want to do is just talk a little bit about what this show is about, who it's for, what we're going to do here, and how I may become your entrepreneurial mentor. This show is truly, it's called The Entrepreneur Solution, and it is truly about business. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about using entrepreneurship to bring possibility back into our lives again. So many times we would see things in the media where people think that there's going to be solutions coming from the Washington, D.C. and political solutions. And I would tell you that if we left the challenges of society, the challenges of today, to the hands of the entrepreneur, they would get solved. Not only would they get solved quickly, but they would get solved effectively and efficiently in the best way possible. And I truly believe that entrepreneurs are truly the key to our future. They're the champions of possibility, and at the same time, they're a new paradigm. They're not that they're new to our society, but they're new to the context of being reachable for many people. I know that along my travels and speaking around the world and around the country, I talk to people that say, "Oh, I could never be an entrepreneur," and I'm here to tell you that yes, you can. I think the reach of entrepreneurship, the ability to become an entrepreneur, is much easier today than it ever was. But the key is to understand this. It's not about business. I say that it's not about business for business sake. It's about business for life's sake. It's really about life. How do we take and use entrepreneurship? How do we learn the skills and the strategies and the tools and the tactics about entrepreneurship and use that to create a life of meaning, a life that you dream about, a life that you've designed, a life by your own doing? Interestingly enough, when I was reading an article where they were talking about the 5 greatest regrets prior to dying, and in that, one of the greatest regrets, believe it or not, was that they didn't have the courage to live the life that they wanted. And I think about that, and to me, it's one, startling, but two, it's sad to think about living your life and going through life for how many ever decades you have, whether it's 50, 60, 70, hopefully 80, 90 years, and get into the waning years and say, wow, I didn't live my life. I didn't have the courage to live my life. And that's what this is really about. It's about living life. It's about taking and using entrepreneurship as the tool, as the vehicle to have an impact on society, to create a dream and live your life. Many of the entrepreneurs that I've worked with over the years, I've seen them where they actually compartmentalize their life. They look at it and it starts out and say, well, this is business, and these number of years I'm going to be building the business, and I'm going to be building the business, I'm going to be building the business, and whether that's 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, or 30 years or more. And then they say, well, after business is over, there's this next segment of life, this next stage of life. He says, that's when I'll live. And they live for whatever they have left in them. And we've all heard the stories. We've all heard the stories about those that have retired, and once they retire, they don't live much longer because they have no purpose in life. And then once that segment of life is over and they pass away, then they have a legacy. And I look at it differently. I think that the whole concept of business, life, and legacy is a continuum. It's there. It coexists at the same time. It's not about saying, let me build my business, then let me live my life, and then let me have my legacy. Legacy is created now. Life is created now. There isn't this concept of work-life balance. It's a fallacy. It's a myth. It's a story that we get sold to get work-life balance. I got to tell you, there's just life. It's not about balancing work and life. As soon as we start to create different buckets in our world, then we have to do the dance between the buckets, back and forth, and we don't know which identity we have at any given time. And we're making decisions based upon, okay, I'm in the work bucket now. No, I'm in the life bucket now. And no, I'm in the relationship or the hobby bucket now. What we should be making is life decisions. I'm a true believer that there is no such thing as a business decision, that they're all life decisions. And if we take that into the fray, into what we're doing, we then make the decisions differently because we know that we're affecting our lives. Not only our lives, but our team members' lives, our spouses' lives, our significant others' lives, our children's lives, and society's lives, everyone we impact. And so that's what this show is about, is how do you create a business? How do you build a business? How do you scale a business? But how do you do it in the context of doing something that's meaningful? And this is not just for people that are thinking about starting businesses. I work with startup companies and startup entrepreneurs that are trying to build a home-based business to large multi-hundred million dollar companies. It's for new businesses as well as established businesses that want to change and shift the way they do things to create what I call, more profit, more raving fans, and more freedom in that context. It's about bringing in together the concepts of business, the concepts of success, and the concepts of wealth, and ultimately living a life. Everything that I'm going to teach you and go through in each of the shows are road tested. They're things that have been road worn. They're the lessons that I've learned in my failures. You're going to hear plenty of information about some of the mistakes I've made in hopes that you won't make the same mistakes, as well as the successes, the ability to fight back, the ability to rebuild and continue and to build and scale and do the things that I've had the blessing and the honor to do. It's all coming from what I would call street-proven strategies, street-proven principles, street-proven frameworks that I'm going to try to bring to you in the show over the episodes. So let me tell you a little bit how these episodes are going to work. In the first, say, 7 to 10 or so episodes, I'm actually going to give you a peek, a look into the business principles that I use in my own businesses and as well as my clients. And for those of you that don't know who I am Mel Abraham. I am a CPA by education and an entrepreneur by exhilaration. I've had the blessing and the opportunity to work with entrepreneurs, to build my own businesses over the years, over the decades. I've bought and sold businesses. I have bought and sold them for myself and for my clients. And I've built businesses, and I've also watched them get destroyed. And through that process, I've learned principles, I've learned frameworks, I've learned how to do business at a level that, one, doesn't suck the life out of you, but juices you, that excites you, and that also can create a loyal following in your team, a loyal following with your customers, and a loyalty base that will fight for you, that they'll go screaming to the hills for you as a business to watch you succeed. So in these first episodes, we're going to talk about some of those frameworks. We're going to talk about the 5 elements of business. We're going to talk about some of the myths about business. I'm going to try to give you and lay the foundation, whether you're old or new entrepreneur, to lay a foundation, to give you a different perspective, my perspective from experience as to what I think has worked. And I want you to try it on for a moment and see how it goes. But it's to lay a specific foundation of understanding of perspective from myself first. And so that's what the first episodes are going to be dedicated to. And then beyond that, I'm going to start digging deeper into each of the aspects of business, whether it's marketing, mechanics, money, the mindset, your business model, all those elements, and dig down deeper. And through the whole process, the kind of cool thing that I want to do is I want to actually be your entrepreneurial mentor through this show. And the way I want to do that is to give you the opportunity to ask me questions. And so you'll have the opportunity to ask questions throughout the show, submit questions to me, and I'll take those questions and I'll typically do a show around that question to give you the answer, to help you out and to help build you. The idea is that this show is for you. It's for you to give you the skills, the tools, the strategies, the tactics that you need to accelerate your success, to take your dreams, pull them out of the corner, out of the darkness again. Let's shake them out. Let's give them life, and let's let them grow. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some friends of mine on the show every once in a while. Not a lot, but every once in a while. These are entrepreneurs that I've worked with, entrepreneurs that are friends of mine that have been enormously successful, have had their challenges, and we're going to talk to them about their business, about the lessons that have come out of their business, the things that you can take away and build from and take that. So I'm going to have some invited guests periodically on the show. And then in each of the shows, I'm going to try to give you some key actionable takeaways where I may tell you, here's the 3 things I want you to do, or 4 things I want you to do. And I want you to go away and start to execute and put things in motion to start driving things home and start driving things towards your dream, start taking steps towards your dream on a regular basis. And at the same time, what I'm going to allow you to do is I'm going to invite you to go back to my website, go back to the session section of the website, where you can download some specific tools that are related to each specific session that I'm doing. So it may be a worksheet, it may be a summary sheet, it may be some questions that I want you to answer, but what I want to do is give you some takeaways and tools that you can use each and every day in your business. They're the tools and takeaways that I use daily in my business, that I use with my clients, and I want to give them to you as a vehicle for you to grow and build your business. So that's really what the whole show is about. I'm looking forward to serving you. I'm looking forward to helping you build your dreams, to build your business, to build your life through entrepreneurship. And I look forward to serving you in this. So if you would, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel right now. That way you get notified every time I post a new show, a new session. And for those of you that have friends out there that are dealing with entrepreneurship or looking to go into entrepreneurship or looking to build their business to the next level, share this with them. Give them the gift of years and years and decades of experience, so I can try and serve them just the same. And if you have some questions that you want me to take on, some questions that you want me to answer, take a moment and go to www.askmelnow.com, askmelnow.com, and on that page, you'll get a chance to leave me just a voicemail message that basically is your question. And I'll take those questions and we'll put them together. And I'll make sure that I get to your questions in one of the upcoming episodes to make sure that I can serve you and support you as you grow. And so you don't feel alone out there. Remember, my perspective here is to try and become your entrepreneurial mentor through the show. This becomes a resource for you as you grow, as you try to build your dreams and move on before that. And to access some of the tools, worksheets, or anything related to this session, just go ahead and go to www.melabraham.com/session000. No spaces, all lowercase, will work fine. That's melabraham.com/session000. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, in the next show session, where I'm going to spend a little time talking about how do you build a business of meaning and the concepts that we talk about there. So until we get a chance to see each other in the next session, may your vision be grand, your journey epic, your legacy significant. See you in the next episode. Go ahead and share this episode. Go ahead and subscribe so you make sure that we stay in touch. and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe so you get access to all of Mel's business and success tips. And if you like this episode, share it with a friend. If you have a specific business or success question, you can ask it at www.askmelnow.com. Remember, it's all about being bold, dreaming big, and living life your way. Because the world needs you. Until the next episode, may your vision be grand, your journey epic, and your legacy significant.